But by saying these expressions, particularly at scale, with repetition, we begin conditioning our own minds into these positions where we have no maneuverability to create something. They're self-imposed ceilings. Welcome to Objective Secure. In this episode, we are going to discuss the power of language, the effect that the actual words we use, the verbiage we use, has on our mindset and our actual productivity. The mind and body are intimately connected. The words we use pose an enormous influence on the way we think and our actual actions. The words we use. Two aspects to consider that everybody here is familiar with. The first are commonly used expressions. These are things like, I don't have time. No matter what I do, I can't insert your desired end state. There's always tomorrow. It is what it is. You have heard those expressions, and chances are you've used one or two of them. The second aspect is using absolute terminology. These are words like everybody, nobody, always, never, every time. More often than not, when we use these phrases, when we use these terms, we are either consciously or subconsciously setting limitations on ourselves, shifting blame elsewhere, or sacrificing validity for impact. But the accuracy of these expressions and these verbs is not present. I don't have time. How often do we hear this? The way many interpret that is hearing it wasn't important to you, or you didn't prioritize your time appropriately, you didn't schedule your time appropriately. This is the way that translates to those that have a higher degree of control over their language. It is what it is. How often do we hear that? What does that actually mean? Well, many interpret that as, so you're saying that you're just willing to accept whatever happens as the only thing that can happen. Like there is no way to affect this particular condition or this scenario. There's no way to influence that. This is just the way it is. Is it really just the way it is? There's always tomorrow. I can tell you right now, I've been on all sides of death. There is no guarantee of tomorrow. What are you really saying with that expression? Is it procrastination? Is it laziness? Is it the lack of inspiration? Why isn't it today? No matter what I do, I can't lose weight. No matter what I do, I can't build muscle. Wrong. The things you've done in the past have been ineffective But to say that there is nothing you can do to achieve those goals is ridiculous. But by saying these expressions, particularly at scale, with repetition, we begin conditioning our own minds into these positions where we have no maneuverability to create something. They're self-imposed ceilings. No matter what I do, I can't build muscle. You say that enough, you will believe that. You say it enough, you will believe that when it's inaccurate. You have yet to find the way to build muscle. But if you want it bad enough, there is a way. Absolute terminology. Those that have a high degree of understanding of particular crafts, particular skills, particular subjects, rarely use that terminology. You hear words like generally speaking. You hear phrases like in most cases. You hear phrases like the data suggests X, Y, and Z. But it's not as impactful, which is why people use absolute terms. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. That's an impactful statement. You've caught my attention. Is that accurate though? Chances are it's not. Life's going to get in the way. Things will happen. There will be times in which you wake up beyond 4 a.m. But it's not as impactful. If I say, I typically get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's not nearly as impactful as I wake up at 4 a.m. every single day. We're sacrificing validity. We're sacrificing the accuracy of the statement for the impact. There's a degree of self-awareness and honesty that comes with adjusting our language for the sake of accuracy, for the sake of ownership, for the sake of what's true. By being more deliberate with the language we use, whether spoken externally or simply used internally to ourselves, it sharpens the control we have within our own mind. Our own mind being the most capable and lethal aspect of the human body. Pay attention to the verbiage. It matters. Use the words deliberately. It takes time to restructure our focus, restructure the way we think, but we will be more effective by doing so.